Hello, everybody, and welcome. For those that don't know me, I'm Merlin, and it is August 3rd, 2025. Joining me today are two lovely individuals in the Crystalline Conflict PvP space. They're both leaders, gamers, and visionary in their own rights, so they don't require much introduction, but let's do that anyways. To my left, EU CCRC champion and recent EU Cup winner, Cliffe. And to my right, the very handsome cat, streamer content machine, Saboree. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Yo,
I want to start by asking, let's start with you, Cliff. How did you get into 14 and PvP in general?
I first started playing FF14 like during the COVID era. The group of friends from real life said, "Let's just all get into this game while like lockdowns were happening and stuff." That's how I started FF in the first place, and then PvP specifically. I don't exactly remember. One day I just queued up for Frontline, and I thought it was funny. And so I kept playing Frontline. I never played the Feast though, and eventually Crystal in Conflict came out, and I played that from season 1.
And Saboree?
First, my friend introduced this to me. Basically, he was like a friend of mine from League of Legends, and he introduced this game to me. But he played on NA, and he was like UK lad, so he didn't have any problems with that. So I started in NA myself, and I kind of at the end of Shadowbringer, I kind of like played here and there. Then I tried the front lines. I thought it's pretty fun too. Then later on, the big PvP update came up, aka Crystalline Conflict, and that's when I started actually playing the PvP.
And what was your first season experience like? We can start with you, Saboree.
I mean, I started from NA on Primal server. A lot of friends know me from there, probably. So, let's just say it was a shit show, but at the same time, it was pretty funny. And I thought it had a lot of potential for what it was before, because only experience I had with Feast was like the front lines.
Mm-hmm. And what was
Yeah,
your
that's
introduction
my
like to Light Party from there? I know the EU scene was obviously kind of chaotic and not very stable, but your first go at it,
uh
how were you
I
introduced?
uh I mean the first tournament I actually played was the recent CC Community Cup, but before that I had we had like the CCRC. Right before CCRC we had like the EU Community Merlin's tournament that we played with the brackets,
Oh yeah.
and that's how I kind of the brackets asked me to play, and I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. So we were playing like versus Cliffe's team and everyone else in the EU tournament. It was pretty fun though. It was like first time I got introduced into like LAN parties, and I thought that it's
Mhm.
pretty cool in its own because it's way different from solo queue.
Well, you
Kind
guys
of
made it
makes
to
it.
the finals, right? For the cup?
Oh yeah, we were fighting versus Cliffe's team
Yeah.
in the cup. But how the tournament ended was kind of unfortunate, but we
Yeah, I
got
remember
the
some insane
pretty.
Wario gameplay. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, oh yeah, the community got me. It was pretty fun. It was versus the Cliffe's team.
Yeah. And for you, Cliff, the same question.
How I started playing LP is the question.
Yes.
I remember all the way back in like week 2 of Crystal Conflict coming out. There was a tournament organized on EU by Feast players, just to see who would be the strongest team in this new PvP game mode. And so I played in that, like, not really week 2, but like week 1.5, like the weekend of the week after week 1. Uh, and my team actually won that. So that's my first LP experience in CC. And then, I mean, every time there was a tournament, pretty much I entered it with a team. There was like the CCCC whatever it's called, Community Cup on EU, like all the way back in 2021, I think. I played in that, and then there were a couple more like community run, or I mean tournaments organized not by Square but by the community itself. I also played in that, then CCRC, then and so on and so forth. I didn't miss a lot of tournaments, I think. So I started
Was
almost right away.
was there any outside influence before starting Final Fantasy Light Party? Like, what was your gaming background like prior to trying Light Party in 14?
I played a little bit of, or a decent amount, I should say, a decent amount of WoW, but not retail, just classic WoW and battlegrounds on classic WoW, not to a crazy extent. Mostly like Warsong Gulch and Arathi Basin, not even Alterac. I never did that. So that's about it for MMOs. Aside from that, I was into like card games, I guess, or specifically Legends of Runeterra, and I think there's like a fair amount of how do I say this, like parallels that you can draw between card games and CC for some reason. Like it's a lot of resource management and stuff, and like playing around lose conditions and playing for win conditions. I think the two are somewhat similar somehow.
And Saboree, the same question.
Funnily enough, the WoW background, I actually right before Crystalline Conflict came, I was like playing 2v2s with my brother in like WoW retail. That's how I got into the arenas, and that was like kind of similar to CC. So right when I actually tried CC, and I thought like, you know what, this is pretty fun, and it kind of reminds me of the WoW, arena. And it's not dependent on having a partner like in WoW. You are kind of dependent having a 2v2 or a 3v3. And yeah, but mostly I played like League of Legends mostly. Before that, that's like my most what I played. I think I played like a master level mostly. I think I was like when Challenger got introduced, I was like 20 LP off like getting Challenger back then. But
Isn't that a
yeah,
game?
that's
That's what game basically, no? More or less, so 2 games. I forget how the league system works. That's super close.
yeah, it was like literally one game of Challenger in League of Legends back then when I still played it actively. It was like season 7 probably the last time I actually played it really actively. It's been a while, but ever since the Crystalline Conflict came out, I was like, you know what? It's pretty fun to smash buttons in this game mode. There's
Yeah.
always some cool, funny moments that happen. So I kind of stick with it.
Well, to table these questions, the reason why I'm interested in some of these answers is because it's been really fun as an outsider from NA and not from EU to kind of being able to see you guys, especially when you guys turn on your streams and we can see what EU is like in the comparisons. Like, not only in terms of the meta, but like the difficulties of like just trying to play the game and everybody's mileage, right, and how their experience varies, especially because of the the hardships that EU is with the player base, and the situation of like the language barriers obviously being a significant factor, and the the influencers, I would say, or the communities, right, not being so much around as much as NA has. It's much easier to jump in and play on an A than it is on a U. That's pretty much my point. So
yeah, for sure.
The fact that you guys have been able to persevere through that for this long and still pull up for the community cup, like that you have nothing but my true appreciation for, and like I thank you for your time and your work, like with what you've done, with what you can in the CC space in general. So just want to say thank you. Do you guys still see yourself, like, how did you feel after you played the cup? Just because, let's just bring up the cup because it was the most recent, it's still pretty relatively fresh. It was this year. Did you guys remember how you felt after? Obviously, the both of you were finalists and a champion here, so obviously the outcome might not have been as tasteful, let's just say, but still like the rush of just loading in or like holy like hey guys we're in the finals. Do you remember what was going through your head, Saboree?
I mean, I was mega chilling since it was Community Cup, but I thought it would have been more interesting if the meta was a tiny bit different, because the comps were kind of similar-ish. There was like always 2 or 3 jobs, but I think that comes down to like every meta always. There's always those highlights jobs, but overall the Community Cup was it was pretty fun. And also we got the Galley Cap anyway, so it was worth it.
And for you, Cliff?
Worth to participate.
There wasn't much at stake anyway, so whether you win or lose the finals doesn't really change anything. If you win, you get an earring, and if you lose, you get still the Gaelic Cup, which is
Yeah.
which is already pretty good. And then I don't know, I've played a decent amount of finals by now, so I don't really. Maybe the first time I got nervous, but or the first couple times, but by now it's fine.
Mhm.
Think it would have been more interesting this tournament if but I mean I can't blame them, but if people took it like more seriously and practiced more for it. But obviously like
Yeah.
there's no rewards that are really worth grinding very hard for, so I mean it's understandable that people don't want to invest a crazy amount of time into this
Mhm.
tournament when there's just not really anything to play for.
Yeah, fully agree with that.
I appreciate that answer. And that's kind of where we're at now with the announcement of FanFest coming soon. Like, how much can they learn between the NA Cup and the EU Cup? Let's just take those two for example, because obviously the JP scene is they're light years ahead of us. That's just
Yeah,
the truth, right? That's just what it is.
Mhm.
Their scene is much more developed. Their resources are much more funneled back into the scene, right? So it's kind of
Mhm.
can't really compare.
and they have
Um,
crazy production value. I do agree.
I don't know if you remember like how your experience was like leading into the last FanFest, Cliff, but like, what is your first ask? Like, do you think that they were even going to be able to like host another fan festival in person, or do you want like more digital rewards? Like, besides, let's just put it in a perfect world where let's just say 5 more teams decide to play, and like the competition is more fierce. Like, what would you
Mhm.
want out of it?
You mean for FanFest rewards?
Or first the FanFest experience and like the tournament format, or like how they can improve on the LP scene as a whole. It's
Mm,
That's kind of like a layered question, but just what is the first things that come to
that's a tough
mind?
question.
Yeah.
I think the FanFest like tournament system is decently good because like the main prize really is getting to the finals and getting the like free trip to FanFest. Like I think that's the biggest thing, and then winning it actually doesn't change that much. It's like the main thing is getting to semifinals, and like getting flown by Square to the FanFest. That's the biggest thing. So I think this is a really good incentive for people to actually try to get to like top 4 in that tournament and actually like put the time into practice and stuff. I think that's good. Then I have no idea what Square should be doing for like outside FanFest. I think the Community Cup is already, how do I say this? It's already impressive that it does exist because I don't feel like there's that many teams showing up for it anyway. So uh, I've,
Mhm.
I don't even think it's like worth it for Square, to be honest. Like it still costs them like time and effort to set up and stuff, and at the end of the day, it's only like I don't know, like 25 people showing up and playing in the tournament, or maybe more than 25. I don't know actually. I don't actually know the
Yeah,
number, but it's not a lot of people.
must be a completely different thing in JP though, since they have like millions teams, like so many
Mhm.
that it's
Yeah.
like you look at the teams and they have like 2 different brackets. You're like, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? You look there's maybe 8 teams. You're like, oh.
Yeah, and when they announced like the Community Cup this year, they said something like, if we don't even get 8 teams to sign up, then the tournament doesn't even exist or something. I don't remember the exact number, but then we barely got
Yeah.
enough teams. I think it was at least 8, and we got 10, I think. And then obviously like half of these teams, no offense to anyone in these teams, but they're made up of new players, weaker players that haven't played the game a lot. And I mean, they can show up and have fun, but obviously the competition is not as serious.
Yeah, totally agree with that. It's the EU scene is definitely like not in a good spot. It probably comes down from the Crystalline conflict, how it has ended up on every season. That there's always the same rewards, and the meta is very stale. Ever since 7.1, they made the feeling of the game kind of bad,
Mhm.
since they added a lot of delay with the hit detection, and then they slowly kind of fixed it to the point that now it's like better, but now there's nothing to hype up for it, or they need to like shake up a meta a tiny bit. There is just a few tiny jobs that make the solo queue experience like way different than the LP like experience. Like in LP, I feel like there is like a scholar that is like mandatory right now. But like in solo queue there is like gunbreaker, but in LP that is like it's non-existent. It doesn't even like it just doesn't have the tools in LP. Like that's like completely different. But in solo queue, I feel like solo queue is like the that makes people to enjoy the game as much that they would like enter the barrier to enter like LPs. But since the solo queue is kind of like non-existent, it just doesn't like bring the hype for LPs, especially in EU.
Do you
In A, it's
see
completely different. They have a lot of teams though.
do
I
you see a
think.
world where they could bring back the light party systems, like with the making a team and being able to actually queue up alongside a light party season, obviously? Like,
They would need to revive the game more at first,
I don't
and
think it
give
would ever
actually,
pop.
yeah, on JP it would maybe work,
On JP it
but
would, but definitely not on EU. Maybe on
yeah,
NA as well, but definitely not on EU. Or it would be like 2 teams at most, like 1.5 teams,
yeah,
and the power balance between these 2 teams would. I mean, one team would be like way stronger than the other or something. It depends like what exact players get into each team, but there's
yeah,
just
for
not enough
sure.
players on EU
I
in
feel like solo
general.
queue is. I still feel like solo queue is gonna be like the starting point for that in a way.
Mhm.
I feel like always when there comes like team 5v5 game modes ranked, I don't think those are as successful as solo queue, because you're not dependent on the other people to queue up. And right now we definitely need more hype to the solo queue because there's a lot of PvP players that actually enjoy the game mode, but ever since the 7.1 update, it's been kind of stall. And the meta doesn't really change anywhere, so they would need to like spice it up, in my
Surely the
opinion.
Purify change is gonna change everything. I'm not even saying fix this time, but surely it will
it's
change
gonna
something.
it's gonna change something, that's for sure.
Machinist is going to be insane, dude. You have no idea. Uncatchable.
I just hope they remove the mana touching skills though, because those are like a privilege on its own for those random jobs that they give.
Since we're on
Now
that,
that
what? Now that what?
and now the Purify is gonna cost mana, it's gonna be interesting. I feel like Scholar is
White
gonna be even
Mage,
more impressive, and White Mage,
White
yo.
Mage walks up to you and polymorphs you, and if you want to purify it, you're just half mana. You just spam the
Just
Yeah,
strike.
don't.
it's so over.
Okay.
It's back to the old purify,
That's
might as
just
well.
30k damage just for OGCD for free like that. Why not?
Nope.
If you were Yoshi P this coming Tuesday and you had full control over one thing, what would you change, Saboree?
I would
Oh, man.
rework whole Scholar kit, honestly. And, well, additionally, switch up LBs. Like I feel like the LBs has been like the same-ish on every job ever since Crystalline Conflict got like introduced. I do get it, like most of them are like drawn into the kit that it just makes sense, but some jobs could see some rework, not
You,
just
Cliffe.
few jobs.
I don't know how exactly, but if I were Yoshi P and I wanted to fix the meta, I would find a way to make Gunbreaker, Scholar, and Astrologian a little bit less strong in solo queue, because people just do not have the coordination to out damage the healing and like stall power that these jobs have. In LP it's less bad, but in solo queue it's so hard, especially with like on EU where the player skill between players in the same lobby is like the gap is very wide between the best player and the worst player in every game usually. So these three jobs, at least in my opinion, are just so insanely strong in solo queue that the meta just revolves around these three. And then if I wanted to fix the game mode itself, I think I would try somehow, but this is also a double-edged sword, to provide better rewards for actually trying to play the game and ranking well. But then if you put actual good rewards, then people will just actually win trade or boost or whatever. So I don't know if that's
Yep.
good, but somehow they have to find a way to bring more players into the game. This would fix so many issues.
Yeah, definitely. The
And
meta
then
shakeup.
if I was crazy and if Square Enix actually gave me money to do it, I would just say, okay, guys, let's just like rewrite the entire engine and fix the netcode for real this time.
For real, for real.
Yeah, I mean, uh, recording the netcode and stuff, queuing up from every DC alone would, help a little bit, because like some
That's true.
people don't even bother like queuing up anymore because they're like, you know what, I don't want to go to another DC. But that's a different point.
Oh
But
god.
they would queue up if they had like a reasoning to queue up, but there is not too many reasonings unless you just enjoy the game mode.
You know the
That's
last time I saw my retainer
okay.
because of the ranked DC thing? Do you know that I haven't been able to decorate anything or look at Party Finder or fucking do anything
Yep.
because I'm stuck on anywhere else but
Yep.
home?
Yep. Yep.
That is a thing. Yeah,
This game
I
is so...
have.
That's stupid.
Finally, I logged in today. I'm at Odin. I pressed the summoner bell, and I'm like, oh wait. Oh wait, this is not my home. Oh shit, I'm cooked. Then I was like, I'm not gonna even bother.
Well,
I
since
can't
though,
do the core mentals of the game. Would be kind of nice to play well in different DC.
do you predict that by 8.0? We should pay some friendly bets, huh? Will 8.0 save everything?
Yes.
They-
I've been saying this every patch for like 4 years at this point. Yes, next patch will fix everything. Next expansion
for
will
sure.
fix everything.
Yeah, I would like to cope, but I mean, there is some signs
Oh.
that they're getting better, but like it's very hard to like trust this company currently since they've been like lacking a lot.
I think it's just gonna be more of the same the entire way through. At least PvE is kind of fine this expansion.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely content for PvE, but that's the thing. One of the reasons why I didn't play this season was at all only on the last week was like the meta is still the same, and then there was like there's more content coming to PvE, and there was like nothing new for PvP, and since I'm like I've done PvE in the past, but now that there was like actually no content for PvP myself, so it was like, might as well take a quick break and come back to see later on. But definitely, I do hope they shake up the meta. That I think that's a good start for everyone. Then there is the other core
Mhm.
system problematics obviously in the game that bring people to play it, even though there is a lot of like PvP players. I feel like that just don't queue up. Even though they used to be like pretty good at the game too. But
Well, this
that's
is
my
their
thoughts.
chance, right? With the patch around the corner, like with the introduction of the tiers. If now that they look like at the data, or obviously they're looking at JP, right? I don't think they really look at our forums or
Yeah, for
any
sure.
of our win rates or anything. It's just additional JP feedback. The tiering is kind of strange to me because it's just like an invisible way of a bracket. Like they just prettied it up because it exists already on JP. The brackets have existed on JP for multiple seasons, and all they did was just put a logo on it that it's Ultima and Omega. But like, is it just a band-aid? Like, is it just to finally get us to like shut up a little bit about how bad the matchmaking is? Is it an actual fix? It's crazy to me that we don't even know the full details, which
Oh yeah.
people that are PvPers, like, they know that they're investing their time into it. Like, and I brought this up a while back. One thing that I always come back to, they obviously see the potential. They obviously put in so much resources, so much work, effort, whatever you want to call it, into reworking the mode, into putting the tournaments together for Cup and FanFest, to the JP culture pretty much embracing Crystal Conflict, and even them enough for them to even get an outside production company. I don't know if you guys know this, but like the FanFest kit people is a whole nother production company that they hire to work alongside with them.
Yeah.
That's why it's super high tier quality.
Mhm.
I do agree with the bandage
Band-Aid.
part of it. It's like a bandage for like poor ranking system, because if there was like actual MMR system that that you queue up within your elo range, and not just, okay, well, this is the rank 3k rating and you cannot queue up like anywhere else than the 1.5k. It's kind of like a bandage, obviously, but they could fix it like with the MMR system and actually making actual ranking system to it. But I feel like they really prefer the casual way of it, unfortunately.
Mhm. One detail I forgot to add in there is also that the bracket doesn't actually kick in, at least previously, right? Obviously, they can change. The bracket didn't kick in until the last 2 weeks of the JP season.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's so confusing to me as well. I didn't
Like,
even
why?
realize the story if I'm cutting you off, but I
Yeah.
had not played on JP in a few seasons, but I knew about the high crystal queue. So this season I actually played on JP, and when I made it to like 2000 crystal rating, I was still getting games with Diamond 5, or like 5 Diamond 5 players in the lobby, and I was like, what's going on? Where's the high crystal queue that I was told about? And I didn't realize it was actually just only for the last couple of weeks of the season. Like, I understand why it's not active from the very start, so like you can actually get pops and stuff, but really, do we really have to wait until the very end of the season? Or it's like kind of like what Saboree said as well. You could just make it so that the range that you can, the range of MMR of your teammates that you can get put into the same lobby with is like dynamic depending on like who's in
Yeah.
queue and how much credit everyone has. Like, it doesn't even have to be uh, like a made up number of like 2,000 credit or 3,000 credit.
Yeah,
It's like
for
completely
sure.
arbitrary. It's so arbitrary that like the cutoffs for like Omega and Ultima ranks like change by DCs, right? I don't know the exact
Yeah.
numbers, but it's like 1,000 for OCE, even though no one's made it to Crystal in like, I don't know, 5 seasons, maybe even more. That's like 1.5k on EU or
Yeah.
something, then 2k on NA, and maybe 3k on JP. I didn't actually look at the numbers, but
Yeah,
this felt
dynamic
very
range.
arbitrary.
Yeah, dynamic range with actual like system around it would be like fixes so many things.
Uh,
When there's like not many players in queue, you can queue up, by a wider range. When there is like more players in the queue, it starts to realize like, oh, there is enough players for this. The system like puts you into the game with those.
I don't think anybody knows what the system is. I've heard like 4 different things at this point. The first two or the first one for a long time was that um it resets your win rate at the beginning of the day, like at 6 a.m. like after the leaderboard updates, people thought that for a while, okay, you had a 60% win rate prior now it's going to fix to put you with a pool of players that are below 40% win rate. That's what we all believed from like season 1 to like when I say pool, I really mean like you notice that you're getting the same, Master Summoner, Lalafell over there, whatever, over and over and over again. And then the next day, you never see them. Even though they're queuing up, you never get with them. Then the next day, it swaps over and they're back on your team, whatever, like the entire time you're queuing. The other thing I was hearing about was that it accumulates the total credit on one team to another. Have you guys heard of that? Of either one of these so far? Of these conversations?
The first one, I definitely think, I don't know if it's still true today, but I feel like it was definitely true at some point in the game's life. Like, me personally, I've experienced it so many times where one day you get 3 wins the entire night, and then the next day, after the board resets, you cannot win a single game. It's just one day you plus 1k, next day minus 1k,
You don't play that
following day
day,
plus 1k again.
right? You just don't play. You wait for it to reset
I
again.
guess so. I guess
That's
so.
what people were doing.
That has to be the. That has
When
to be
you
the
realize
plan. I
you
never
have-
did this, but
You realize there is Thanos 1, 2, 3, and 4 against you. You're like, oh shit, here we go again. Type of a day. So yeah.
The accumulated credit thing also like doesn't make much sense because I swear like I've still seen the rank 1, rank 2, whatever get like paired up or whatever, and then in no previous seasons matter at all. You could have been rank 1 fucking 4 times in a row or whatever, and if you just don't play, it doesn't matter. It doesn't take into consideration any of your previous peaks at all.
Yeah, no. I experienced that yesterday, literally on stream. I look at enemy team, I see rank 1 and rank 2 against me. I'm like Cliffe and
I forgot about that.
who was it? Cliffe and Crow against me. I'm like I'm literally tweaking. I'm like, huh? I look at my team, I have like bot 1, 2, 3 on my team. Enemies like Thanos 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, huh? What do you mean? Like the scheduled loss, I'm like, huh, okay, well, I guess as a 100 credit crystal player, I deserve this. Huh? But it is what it is. And then my team was literally Mako, that is maybe 1k credits, and then maybe Black Mage was peaking 1.5k ish or something. I don't know, and then that's why I don't know. I don't know what the matchmaking does, but like not a single person was like above 2k, and then enemies have like multiple people above 2k, and crazy gamers. I'm like, oh, holy shit.
I remember someone said they give God's Strongest Soldier this the toughest battle.
Yeah, that was a good one. And I wouldn't mind like playing versus skilled players at that point if I was playing like my main job, like a samurai or a monk. But I was like playing machines because I thought, I'm still low rank. I can still kind of not play my maximum potential like a chopper wise, and I can just kind of keep having fun still at lower credits. But then I see Thanos 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time to pull out my main job. It's not looking too good.
Are you guys optimistic for the patch? Are you optimistic for the tiers?
I don't think it can be that bad. I think any change is gonna be good because it's gonna make people come back. So at least that's something positive. And then like the Purify change and the new ranks and stuff, what they actually will change, I'm not sure yet. I don't know.
We'll start there with the Purify thing. How about that? Just Saboree, go ahead.
Purify, well, currently, if nothing changes in job wise, it's gonna be a good and a bad thing at the same time. But it's gonna definitely benefit more of the CC that has multiple CCs on their kit, kind of like a samurai. What else? What else has multiple CCs? But first of my mind is samurai, obviously, since I played. Red mage, all those jobs, and then the jobs that really don't have any CC, like a viper. Like, the fuck are you gonna do on those jobs? Like, you will lose your mana even faster, and you need to dip out even faster. So it can be a good thing and a bad thing. It can be more snowbally. and but I hope they remove like at least the mana drain abilities at the same time, because it wouldn't make sense. Because right now, a lot of times I find myself like 1k mana, and I've used already my purify. So in the next patch, I would be like minus 1.5k mana already. But yeah, I don't know. It's I feel like purifying the guard is gonna be like more common thing after that, and not just purifying the spamming Greek cups and running away. And then when you see the actual Giga Burst coming in, then you guard it only. So yeah, I don't know. It's I mean it's definitely gonna shake up the meta a little bit. I still think that the strong jobs are just gonna be even more impressive with that. But we'll have to wait and see. That's why I'm kind of hyped, and you know I have hopes for the new patch. That maybe they have cooked up something with the potency changes a little bit at the same time. But you know, seeing Samurai and Dragoon as a preview, we did not get really much of information from the live letter itself.
And you, Cliff.
Just to double check, the new Purify is going to cost 2.5k, same as Recuperate, right?
Yes.
Or is
That
it?
sounds correct.
Okay, okay.
It's a recoup. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's the same as a recoup. I think it's going to be a good thing because it's going to make people die faster, which is like one of the biggest issues right now, is that people just do. I mean, it depends. Some jobs never die, and some jobs are die in one hit. It's like surely it will
Oh, yeah.
make like the Gunbreakers and the Scholars and stuff and the Astrologians. It's these three jobs again, but surely it's gonna make them like easier to kill. I don't know. I feel like it might be. I feel like it might hit like all the melee jobs harder than the range jobs, because when you're like a melee job, you have to be frontlining most of the time, and so you're gonna get CC on you more often. So you're gonna have to use even more mana to purify it, and then I don't know. I feel like the melee jobs right now are kind of weak compared to all the healers and
Yeah.
most of the casters. So I don't know if on one hand I think it's gonna be good for the meta as a whole because people are gonna die faster, but also I feel like it's gonna nerf the melee jobs, which
Yeah.
are already kind of weak right now, in my opinion, and in my stats add-on anyway.
Outside of Samurai, probably every other melee is gonna like take a
Uh,
big
s-
hit about it.
Samurai has it good because of the like anti CC button.
Yeah,
So if you eat
that's
CC with that, it's like free. I don't know, 30k mana that you just
oh,
or I guess 3k mana or something. I don't. Yeah, 3k mana that you just save or something.
but
Or
on a
no, sorry,
monk,
5k mana.
yeah. But then comes monk, and you need to tank damage with your riddle, and if
Yes,
you purify
yes,
top of it, you're gonna lose one recap. So it's
yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure about
Which is
that.
like the matchup for Monk versus White Mage is already so bad because when you get bullied, you have one less recoup to build a
Oh
bigger
yeah,
riddle. So with the Purify costing mana now, like the riddles are gonna be so tiny. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. This is not good for Monk specifically. That's true.
yeah.
Would you guys remove the
In
MP drain from Poly and Bard?
yes,
I feel
yeah,
like
it's
Bard can keep it because it's like once every 1.5 minutes or something, and I mean Bard is like pretty strong even without it, I guess. But then you'd have to find another thing to add onto their LB. I don't know exactly what they would do. I think it could
yeah,
go. It could get removed from Polymorph though. It's like Polymorph is so like brain dead now. You just press it on cooldown because it deals
yeah, for sure.
15k damage uh, onto anyone OGCD as long as you're not hitting into Purify. Like you don't even use it for the CC anymore. You just use it for the MP drain.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, if it's tied to LB, I'm not so against it, but having it GCD, just a normal one, it's kind of weird. It's kind
But
of like
I
the
mean,
Shield Smite in a way that just a few jobs got like the privilege of those just randomly on 7.1, and
Mhm.
no other jobs got that privilege. It was kind of weird-ish, but at the same time, some jobs need to have unique stuff, but I don't think Was that the way to go? I'm not sure.
Speaking on
At the
shield
same
smite,
time,
go ahead, go ahead.
at the same time, I don't hate White Mage as much as the unholy trinity of
Yeah.
Gunbreaker, Azrael Legend Scholar. I said it again.
Yup.
So I mean,
The three horsemen.
I think White Mage isn't that broken. So like maybe they can still keep one unfair thing. I don't know. But maybe with the new Purify Poly, it's just gonna feel so overwhelming. Like White Mage walks up to you and GG, you have to run out and hope you make it like to your base or to the potion or something. Because as soon as they come anywhere close to you and press Poly, you just don't have mana anymore. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out.
Yep.
I brought up this question yesterday about shield smite and chain stratagem. I personally don't think that they're very healthy, especially with the reduction of guard. I can see a world where they even remove those two to completely nerf Scholar in some way, because an instant guard break like that with chain strat is just already fucking insane to me, because you can just run somebody down. You know they're forced to guard, especially against a burst comp, and then you just already are instantly locking on them, chain stratting them, and then chain stratting, and they're just pretty much fucking dead.
Yep.
And there's way too much damage in the game right now, in my opinion.
That happened a lot in LP. Like you just see the metapod, as we call it, aka the scholar. We just see it like standing on the crystal, just chilling. Then he just weaves in the guard health right when you guard, and you're just gone to the burst anyway. Like
Yeah,
you see it coming, you guard in the right time, but you just get health and you're dead anyway. So
I could
and
see
even
them
in solo
removing
queue,
them. Mhm.
yep, it's pain in the ass in solo queue too, for sure.
It's also
Scholar
I think
is privileged
good.
class.
I think
That's how I feel.
Shield Dash or Shield Slam, whatever the Paladin thing is called. I think it's fine because it's a GCD and the Paladin's GCD clock is like so long that you
Yeah.
actually, if you want to like counter a guard, you actually have to like hold your GCD and wait for someone to press guard so you can break it. So and once you break it, you can't like instantly send more damage onto the target that you just broke. So
Yeah.
I feel like Paladin guard break is not too unfair, but this Scholar chain is like is so crazy. It is
Yeah, definitely.
so insane,
If there's
and like
conditions, it's good. I feel like
yeah.
it's fine.
Plus,
It's
I
fine to
mean,
be in the game.
it's like such a there's no counterplay to it really. It's the only counterplay to
Yeah,
it that there is you hope the scholar presses it before you guard for some reason, or you hope the scholar presses it like when you're already out or something, and the rest of their team can't get to you or something. But if they, I mean, if you're caught in the middle of 3, 4, 5 people, you have to guard, and there's a scholar nearby, you are dead. GG.
I'm curious
just
how the
Just
scholar.
with one button on a 20-second CD and it's of GCD even. That's so crazy.
just
And it
watch.
like it's kind of great game breaking as well because it's the only job that can remove this much stall potential from the enemy team on such a short cooldown. I think
Yeah,
this was like one of the issues with old Reaper before 7.1 happened, is that you could remove guards every like 40 seconds or something, but now with
Yeah,
Scholar you
it was
can remove
crazy.
guards every 20 seconds, which is insane. And this is also
Yep.
why people didn't like Monk, and still don't like it, I guess, because you had every minute like a guard break as well, plus insane damage, plus insane CC, and that got like nerfed to like 75-second cooldown or something. But Chain, for some reason, gets to be 20
Ew.
second cooldown, which is so crazy. And also, okay, one more thing. This is only half related, but the fact that when you play Scholar and you die, the fairy cooldown gets reset, and
resets.
you can just
Oh.
put it back down after respawning is so insane. This job has 2 LBs, and one of them just you get it back for free if you die. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Somebody could be that Square Enix office. That one I can agree
There
with.
was there was two top players on GP recently that were talking about Scholar, and they're white mage mains, or one of them is a white mage main and the other one is a sage main, I think. and they had lost 2,000 points or something over the last week. Like they just kept throwing their faces at. 'Cause obviously, it's the last week of ranked, right? So they were just throwing their faces trying to climb, and they just kept losing and losing and losing, and they lost in the span of a day about 2,000 points each of them. They decided to go scholar, and in half that time, they got all their points back, and they're just playing scholar. It's just like what is going
that
on?
makes sense to me. That makes sense to me.
Jesus Christ.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think next patch, Scholar needs to get fucking nuked out of
Yeah.
this planet, bro. Like, if we have less recaps and minus 20% healing done with such a easy way of executing ability, it's like, yeah.
That and
big
Gunbreaker. I think those two priority over Astro now at this point, because every game you see Gunbreaker Scholar, at least on an A. It's just not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gilmaker
And
Scholar Astrologian. Also, there's like such a big difference between as soon as overtime kicks in and everybody's forced to play around the point, Scholar and Astrologian get even more insane.
yeah, they
I think
shine.
Gunbreaker's not that much different, but Scholar and Astrologian, when everyone's stacked on the crystal, get so much value, and you can't like outrange it, you can't play around it, you can't like find another fight or something. You have to be on the crystal, so you just it's so
Just
impossible
bleeding.
to win versus these jobs in overtime.
Yeah, the
Recently.
7.1. Yeah, let me say this. 7.1
Okay.
patch was like just because they gave like such a crazy privileges to a few jobs, but the others did not get almost touched at all. It was definitely did make people to quit more. So we would have like we had like crazy player numbers in 7.1. I feel like I have never seen so many like players coming back just for a CC update. It was like everyone put suit up and came up to try it out, but then it was like such a late down. It was kind of sad to see, but you know I hope
Yeah.
Square Enix can make it better now.
They
Each match.
they fixed it a little bit by now, but 7.1 had an insane issue, in my opinion, that when you went into overtime while winning, you were actually gonna lose overtime most of the time because of the way that like the systems worked. I don't remember exactly what they changed. They changed like the how much like super sprint you get after respawning or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
also
yeah.
they
And the time to
changed.
break.
Oh, they
The
changed
time to
the
break.
exactly. Yeah. The time to break the 50 if you were um, behind, and also like the crystal speed if you were also behind or something. They changed that, so now overtime isn't quite as bad when you have to uh, like defend the push. But in 7.1, like you would actually get punished for winning before overtime because
You're
like
giving me Vietnam
the
flashback.
like the pusher's advantage during overtime was insanely busted, insanely broken. So I think that made a lot of people quit as well. Because like you win the entire 5 minutes before overtime, then overtime kicks in, and suddenly you can't do anything anymore. Or
Yeah.
maybe you still can, but like even if you're farming the enemy team for like 10 minutes, they keep coming back, and eventually the point gets like grinded out uh all the way to your base. Or maybe they have like a paladin, and eventually paladin presses LB, and you lose the fight, and then you lose the game off of it. Or astrologian LB or something. Oh, this is another thing, the astrologian LB healing reduction on everyone. This is so insane.
Oh yeah. That is
surely that has
insane.
surely that has to go at
Oh
some
my
point.
god.
Let me not get into more Scholar Pro.
I feel
Might
like
be one of the most hated jobs too.
we're in a group therapy right now.
Yeah. I get it. We had all flashbacks from all the stuff that happened on that patch. I might be tweaking already about the holy shit. Thinking about it even.
I'm surprised I haven't lost my fucking mind yet with the fact that I've also been playing since season 1 and I've done every season but one season of ranked. I
Yeah.
I don't know what. I mean, obviously the people read and like recently the three of us at this point are all streaming, and obviously the streaming factor makes it the replayability a lot more fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. Just fun to chat about the game while molding
Yeah.
and losing her. But
True.
You guys should place a friendly who's gonna hit Ultima first. That's what I want to know.
Maybe.
Friendly wager?
If we
Anyone?
have if you have enough players in the EU, hopefully it sparks like people to come back. I mean, there is like new borders to play, for maybe new title. Hopefully,
I hope the portrait's
I'm
good.
doubtful. Yeah, the portraits, the ultimate portraits, they have potential to look nice if you think about
Yeah.
the color scheme. So there is technically new rewards, but you have to actually play the game this time around and hit those breakpoints, at least with your peak.
Do you guys think more people would come back if the ranks were reset completely and everyone went back down to
Yes.
bronze?
Yes. I'm
Yeah,
a huge advocate for the rank reset, but unfortunately, I think they said they're not for this one. I
Yeah.
think that's a
I,
mistake.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah. On the one hand, I feel like people who don't really follow PvP will not know about this anyway, like whether the ranks have been reset completely or not. But I feel like the people who do follow it would definitely have a bigger incentive to come back if everyone was sent back down to bronze.
Yeah.
My
It's been
first encounter, or like,
Mm.
remember very vividly, very detailed, the first time I got my shit kicked in the feast. Like, it was another paladin player, and he outplayed the shit out of me, and I was just getting fucked. I kept losing to this guy, and like up until then, it was kind of, it was a smooth ride. Like, it was just breezing through the ranks, getting to Diamond Wolf, and then I just started getting wrecked. Like, that needed to happen. I feel like if the the returning players, the good skilled players, whatever you want to call it, are starting again at just Diamond 5, then the silver gold player, like the average player, isn't going to encounter these people that are going to outplay them and give them that like fire, that like wake up moment, like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
I thought I was pretty good. I always think back of like even playing Super Smash Brothers growing up, like going to locals or playing, with your friends or whatever, with your bros, just playing Melee or Marvel vs. Capcom or whatever. And then you go to a tournament and you get your shit kicked in and you're like, holy fuck. And the fucking Aladdin No Brave New World starts playing in the background and your mind just starts like playing back all the moments that you got
Oh,
destroyed.
that's true. That's
That
true.
like,
That's very true.
then you're like, holy shit, I didn't know this could be like more than it was. Like, I thought I
Look,
knew a
like
bit,
this.
but I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I suck. I feel like that needs to happen even in this kind of, and
That's
obviously
true.
it's not the most craziest game, right? But I feel like that's very necessary.
I agree. Actually, I agree.
I kind of witnessed it myself as a primal player. I feel like NA players were like so much worse when I came back to EU. So the first time I started playing EU, I hit like top rankings like quite fast, but I just thought like these motherfuckers are actually like so much better. Like and nobody's dying like freely. I'm like, huh? What's happening? Like, yeah, I hit like top 5 very easily on the first season. I started playing like actually. Back then I played a lot of Red Mage. And yeah, that was the first time I thought, maybe EU is much better as a region. And solo queue
This
was,
is
I thought about.
this is only half related, but this reminds me of when you said like you got destroyed in the feast when you reached whatever rank. The same thing happened to me in season 1 when I started playing. I got to diamond rank fairly easily playing summoner, and then once I reached diamond, at that point in time the queue was popping like actually 24/7, and I spent an entire day queuing and like omega stuck in diamond 5 0 stars for an entire day. I was losing not every game but almost, and then yeah, I realized some people were figuring the game out way faster than I was. So yeah, that also made me wanna like get better. And also then I just picked up red mage instead, and it was so broken that I made it to crystal without even having to try.
Yeah, Rayless.
Season 1 red mage was crazy. Season
I
1
can't believe
ninja,
that was a
season 1
thing.
astrologian.
Funnily enough, I started season 1 with Red Mage, so I gigasoed to crystal rank without even like trying almost.
That job
Red mage was
was
so insane.
illegal.
It was
Actual illegal.
illegally.
Yeah, but this reminds me also, they need to bring back like the season 1 monk thing that Earth Reply would go through guard. They need to bring this back. That would be
Fucking
really
hell.
good, I think.
Oh yeah, it was
Scholar,
bugged.
a
Oh
scholar
yeah,
can kill you through guard. Why not monk?
oh yeah, it was bugged
Every
on
two
during the
seconds.
7.1 too, wasn't it? During 7.1, it bugged that you could rill through guards at one point. I do remember there was
Really?
like a there was like a week or something. It worked. There was
Really?
like emergency maintenance. Yeah, I remember doing this.
What the?
The rill actually went through guard. Oh,
It
that
was
was
your
crazy.
fault. They reported you.
What? I didn't even know this, honestly.
You didn't know it? Oh. It
Nope.
was like literally there was like the Dark Knight, the dying on LB, and everything.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. Oh, Dark
there,
Knight dying through LB was crazy. I remember this.
at the moment I realized like when you realize like new stuff, that's why I was so hyped for 7.1 for introduce as big of a patch as like the Crystalline Conflict was when it came. I was like they will shake up all the new skills. They will hold on some of the core abilities, but give new abilities. But they really didn't do that. They only did it for like a few jobs that got like those tiny small adjustments that made them like giga good. Then other jobs just got like a new skill after like other skill. But yeah, it's
What do you mean, like Summoner and Machinist getting 5% more potency on Tuesday?
yeah. That's the thing. That's why I was like so hyped for 7.1 to actually bringing something new, because when you like discover new stuff, always it just comes like very fun. I don't know.
You mean
That's true.
like Sir's one button gunbreaker macro recently?
Yeah, like I think the 7.1
That's
highlight was for me when I realized the Zanny actually goes through guard. I was like, holy shit, I can actually Zanny the guard. Finally, it was like those smaller discoveries. You get Asher LB, you just Zanny somebody 30k through guard. They're like, wait, what happened? Because that wasn't the case before.
true.
But like small discoveries are like crazy. So I always hope they do something complex, but not like really complex, like simple, but like still there's some cool tiny small things that you can do with certain abilities. That is like how I would imagine them to like switch it up on those few jobs that we tend to hate.
Not so much on the ability, but a good friend of mine, Rising Stars staff member actually, Solana, he brought up how he was getting more and more angry. I don't want to say angry. Let's just say disappointed, whatever, at like how much the newer players that get into Diamond or Crystal just don't LB at all.
Oh,
They just don't LB. They just hold on to it forever. And he was saying, like, what if they reworked it in a way that incentivizes you to LB more, because it can be an LB that works in 3 phases. So it can either ramp up, like let's just say it can be a baby Bahamut, does 20%, then the next LB is LB2, then LB3. You know what I mean? And it's that way,
That
like
sounds
even
really
going
cool.
into overtime, it gets stronger, right? So like,
Yeah.
but it also incentivizes you in a way to press LB so that it transforms to the next.
Yeah.
And this can
I like
function
this
for every
idea.
job.
I like this idea. And then your third Astalby is just 100% damage up and 100%
Yeah.
healing down. This is a really interesting. I like this idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then you have to like consider your options between like holding LB because you want to win the like overtime fight, and so you don't send it like 1 minute before overtime. You save it for overtime.
Yes.
Versus the value of having a stronger LB the more times you press it, and also you would get rewarded for not dying as much.
Yeah, for sure.
Correct.
That's a very interesting idea. I don't think it
Play
will ever
more.
be
It won't.
into.
They will never be
It
that
will never be.
intricate.
Yeah, it will never be that. But will never be in the game. But it's a very interesting idea.
I can't stop thinking about this MP meta. You know what? I just remembered how Astro in Heavensward, I think it used to have, what was it, Yora or the mana card? Remember it had an MP card, I think.
So
What if they
in
bring
Boomer
back
in like
different cards?
season
Astro's
in
gonna
season
get an
3 or
MP
4,
card.
they definitely
Yeah.
had an MP card, but it
What
was
was an
considered
MP
like the
card, right?
worst. The you were or something. You would get like, I don't remember exactly how it works. Either you would get like twice the mana you would usually get per tick, or it would somehow make the ticks faster. I don't know. I feel like the netcode works in such a way that ticks are like hard luck 3 seconds no matter what. But maybe it made, I don't remember how
Yeah.
the UR worked.
What a world. And now we're here with where they also removed machinist chainsaw.
This is good. I this should never have been in the game in the first place.
Season
Such a
17,
meme
guys.
ability.
17 times stronger, 17 times better. Surely you'll be great.
Surely.
Surely
I have
the
a lot of hope.
Ultima games are going to be peak.
Yep, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna make everyone come back, and then every problem will be fixed just because the player base will get big enough.
For sure.
Good. All right. Well, we've just about hit our hour mark here, so I think I'll try to now wrap this up. Thank you, Cliffe. Thank you, Saboree. I appreciate you guys spending time with me. Where can people find you?
Well, everyone probably knows me already, but Saboree, twitch.tv/Saboree. Tend to stream a lot of UQ.
Same twitch.tv/CLNL__. And sometimes I stream EUQ, and sometimes NAQ, and sometimes JPQ.
Mr. Worldwide would be.
Yeah, but never OCE because it doesn't pop.
Will we be expecting the friendly race first to Ultima?
Yeah, I will.
That's
I will.
that's some
be in queue
content
anyway.
right there. Get to your
I
account.
don't
will be in
mind.
queue.
I'll be yeah.
Get
I'll
some
be
guild
spamming
downs.
it.
Come on.
It
Let's get
depends
it.
what jobs
Sure.
end up being broken next patch.
Yeah,
I don't want to
Hey.
bring it up now that we're wrapping up, but I'm just like looking at my stats add-on and Scholar. I've seen 100 games of, 1,000 games of Scholar, and it has 54.5% win rate, which seems crazy over 1,000 games. Just this season, by the way, and across like EU, NA, and JP, almost
sure
2,000 games.
I'm not sure if I want to put my matches on the shelf just because I need to try hard. I'm not sure, but I mean, I'll be there. I'll be racing for 3K.
I'll be there.
Definitely.
Or I might be like playing a random job at the start of the season because like no one has any points and it doesn't really matter yet. We'll see.
But when
Or
the crystal
playing
games actually start popping, then
Yeah.
the race is done.
Or
see you
maybe the
guys
job that gets buffed the most.
on the, what is it? Bayside Battleground.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. All right. We'll stop here before we keep ranting. Thank you so much for listening. That'll do it for us here. See you guys around. Peace.